Have you ever wondered how Norway, a small country with just over 5 million people, is becoming one of the world's wealthiest nations? Welcome to the paradox of Norway's wealth. Tucked away in the northernmost parts of Europe, this nation is an enigma. Its population is smaller than that of many global cities, yet its wealth rivals that of far larger and more populous countries. Its location is remote, far from the world's economic powerhouses, yet it's on a trajectory to become one of the richest countries on the globe. Beyond the stunning fjords, the aurora borealis and the midnight sun, Norway is rich in another sense of the word. Its wealth isn't just found in its natural beauty, but in its economic strength. Norway's GDP per capita ranks among the highest in the world, a fact that may seem puzzling at first glance. After all, how does a small remote country generate such immense wealth? The answer isn't straightforward. It's a culmination of several factors, each contributing to the overall financial success of the nation. It's about the natural resources Norway has been blessed with and the way the country has managed them. It's about the far-sighted economic policies that have been implemented and the way they've been adhered to. And crucially, it's about the social and cultural attitudes of the Norwegian people themselves. This wealth, however, isn't hoarded. Norway is known for its high levels of social equality, with wealth distributed fairly across its population. This isn't a nation of a few super-rich individuals and a large underclass. Rather, it's a country where the majority of citizens enjoy a high standard of living, with wealth shared in a way that benefits society as a whole. So what is the secret behind Norway's wealth? It's a complex puzzle with many pieces fitting together to create a picture of economic success. But don't worry, we're going to delve into each aspect, dissecting the factors that contribute to Norway's prosperity. We'll explore the natural resources, the economic policies, the diversification of the economy, and the social policies that have played a role in Norway's rise. So what is the secret behind Norway's wealth? Let's delve in. One of the key factors behind Norway's wealth is its vast reserves of oil and gas. Nestled in the rugged landscape and beneath the icy waters of the North Sea, these resources have been a significant contributor to the country's affluence. Norway struck oil in the late 1960s, and since then it has been a game-changer in its economic narrative. The oil and gas industry has contributed substantially to Norway's wealth, accounting for about a quarter of the nation's gross domestic product. But it's not just the presence of these resources that matters, it's how they're managed that makes the difference. Let's take a moment to understand the concept of oil rent. Essentially, it's the difference between the total revenue from oil production and the total costs of production. In simpler terms, it's the profit made from oil production. Now, the interesting thing about Norway is that they've managed to maintain high oil rents. This is due to a combination of factors, including efficient production methods, responsible financial management, and a stable political environment that fosters investment in the sector. Moreover, Norway has avoided the pitfalls of the so-called resource curse, a phenomenon where nations with abundant natural resources often fail to achieve economic growth. Instead, Norway has used its oil and gas revenues to invest in its people and infrastructure, as well as in other sectors of its economy. But what sets Norway apart is its strategic long-term planning. Recognizing that oil and gas reserves won't last forever, the country established the Norwegian Sovereign Wealth Fund, also known as the Oil Fund. This fund invests the revenues from the oil and gas sector in global stocks, bonds, and real estate, ensuring that the wealth generated from these finite resources can continue to benefit future generations. But it's not just about having resources, it's about managing them wisely, and that's where the Norwegian Sovereign Wealth Fund comes into play. This fund, one of the largest in the world, is a testament to Norway's foresight and exemplary management of its oil and gas wealth. The Norwegian Sovereign Wealth Fund is the world's largest, holding around 1% of all global equities. This colossal fund, officially known as the Government Pension Fund Global, was established back in the late 90s and is primarily fueled by the country's oil and gas revenues. But what exactly is a sovereign wealth fund, or SWF? Plain and simple, it's a state-owned investment fund. Countries with surplus revenues like Norway create these funds to invest that extra cash in a way that benefits their economies and citizens. So how does the Norwegian SWF contribute to the country's wealth? Well, it's not just about having all that money, it's about what you do with it. The Norwegian SWF follows a three-pronged investment strategy: stocks, bonds, and real estate, and all these investments are made overseas. Why overseas? because investing at home could lead to overheating the domestic economy. When it comes to stocks, the fund owns shares in more than 9,000 companies worldwide. That's right, from Apple to Nestle, the fund holds a piece of the pie. On the bond side, these are essentially loans that the fund gives to foreign governments or companies, expecting to be paid back with interest. It's a safer play, balancing out the riskier nature of stock investments. And finally, real estate. The fund owns properties in some of the world's prime locations, from Times Square in New York to Regent Street in London. These properties not only appreciate over time but also rake in a steady stream of rental income. This careful and diversified investment approach has allowed the fund to grow its wealth significantly. In fact, it's so large that if you were to divide it equally among every Norwegian, each would get hundreds of thousands of dollars. So the fund's smart investment strategy has contributed massively to Norway's wealth. But there's more to the story. Beyond oil and gas, Norway has a highly diversified economy. It's like a well-balanced investment portfolio, except we're talking about an entire country's GDP. A savvy investor doesn't put all their eggs in one basket, and the same principle applies to Norway's economic strategy. Let's start with shipping. Norway is one of the world's leading maritime nations, with a fleet of vessels that's among the most modern and environmentally friendly. The country's rich maritime history, combined with its geographical advantage, has cultivated a robust shipping industry which significantly contributes to the national economy. Next, we have hydroelectric power. Norway is blessed with an abundance of water resources. The steep and long waterfalls along with abundant rainfall make it an ideal place for harnessing hydroelectric power. It's not just a source of clean, renewable energy, it's also a key player in Norway's economic narrative. Then there's the fisheries sector. Norway's extensive coastline and clean, cold waters are perfect for fish farming. Norway is, in fact, the world's top exporter of salmon. But it's not just about salmon. The fishing industry diversifies into various subsectors like shellfish, whitefish, and pelagic fish, adding more vibrancy to Norway's economy. Lastly, let's not forget technology. Norway is a hotbed for tech startups, with a growing reputation as a tech hub in Europe. The country's tech scene is known for its innovation in areas such as green tech, fintech, and health tech, attracting international attention and investment. Now, why is this diversification important? It's simple. It serves as a buffer against fluctuations in oil prices. When oil prices drop, Norway doesn't panic. Instead, it leans on its diversified economy to weather the storm. The country's balanced approach ensures economic stability and resilience, even in the face of global economic uncertainties. So it's not just about oil and gas. It's about shipping, it's about hydroelectric power, it's about fisheries, it's about technology, it's about having a diversified economy that can withstand shocks and continue to thrive. Having multiple income streams is always a good idea, and Norway has mastered this concept at the national level. Wealth isn't just about money, it's also about quality of life, and Norway scores high on this front too. When we talk about Norway's wealth, we must discuss its social policies, which are just as vital. The country's robust welfare system, high-quality public services, and a strong focus on equality are all components that contribute significantly to the nation's overall wealth. Let's start with the welfare system. Norway has one of the most comprehensive welfare systems in the world. It provides universal healthcare, free education, and generous unemployment benefits. This social safety net ensures that no one falls too far, even in hard times, and this stability contributes to a happy and productive society. High-quality public services are another cornerstone of Norway's social policies. From healthcare to education to public transportation, the Norwegian government invests heavily in its public services. This investment pays off by creating a society where everyone, regardless of their income, has access to the services they need to thrive. The result? A country where the average life expectancy is among the highest in the world and literacy rates are near perfect. These are not just numbers but a testament to a society that values the well-being of all its citizens. Norway also places a strong emphasis on equality. This focus is not just about income redistribution, but also about ensuring equal opportunities for all. Norway consistently ranks high in gender equality, with policies promoting equal pay and parental leave. Moreover, it's one of the few countries with a law requiring a certain percentage of board members in public companies to be women. These social policies foster a stable, happy, and productive society, which in turn contributes to Norway's wealth. They create an environment where people can focus on innovation, creativity, and productivity rather than worrying about basic necessities. So, Norway's wealth is not just about oil and money, it's about smart management, a diversified economy, and a strong focus on social welfare. Norway's success story shows that wealth is about more than just financial assets. It's about investing in people and creating a society where everyone can thrive.